What's up, everybody? Happy Friday. Hope all you're having a great day today so far. Getting into this episode of GH. Listen, a mess. A lot of shit is going down. So let me get Sonny out the way first. So he finally got his medication. He finally, gonna calm his ass down. Phyllis done took him to the hospital, got him a doctor. You know how Sonny is. At first he refused because he's like, this could be a setup, this could be a con or whatever. But Phyllis calmed him down and was like, yeah, you should take the medication. So they finally got him his lithium. So hopefully he'll stop all this manic mess and start acting right. So anyway, moving on from that. Ned is pissing me off as usual. He refuses to take responsibility for his actions. He keeps blaming Tracy for everything that's going wrong so far. I'm like, bruh, you're the reason everything in your marriage has gone wrong. You cheated. Yeah, Tracy was messed up for her part that she played in the cover up, but Tracy's only an accessory after the fact. You know what I mean? Because she was trying to help Ned. And I'm glad, when Tracy was on the phone with Luke. Speaking of Luke, how the hell is he on the phone with Tracy? First of all, did he even go visit Lulu yet in the hospital that she's in, the care facility? That's what he need to go do. But even Luke told Tracy that she should have stayed out of it. Like, her son is a grown ass man. I mean, overgrown. Like, dude is 60. Why are you meddling in his business? You should have let Ned handle his own shit. But I guess it's an instinct thing. Like, I guess, as a parent, she felt compelled to help her son, I guess. But I think that was a big mistake on her part because look at what happened now. It backfired on her, and now Ned's using her as a scapegoat for all of this. Oh, my mother made it worse. Oh, she did. She ruined it. She did. She that. Ned, you did that. Don't try to use Tracy as no cover. You take responsibility for your damn actions. You a grown ass man. Take responsibility for your shit. Stupid. So Monica basically told Tracy to get out. Because Monica was like, you might as well just go on back to Europe, go back to wherever you were, Amsterdam, whatever, you might as well go back. As she should, because Tracy now has a warrant out for her arrest for what she did to Alexis. So I'm glad Tracy listened to Monica and got the hell up out of there. I'm going to miss Jane Elliott. I've enjoyed her as usual. I think today was Jane's last day. As Tracy right now for this visit. I'm so gonna miss Jane so much. I always love when Tracy comes to visit. Great to see her though. But yeah, I'm glad Tracy listened to Monica and got the hell out of Dodge. Because as soon as them officers showed up, Tracy was long gone. I said, thank God. She finally listened to Monica and got on up out of there. And of course, Robert had called Ned to come to the hospital because Robert didn't really know everything that was going on. And by the time he found out what was going on, it was too late because he had already called Ned. And of course, Olivia was not happy to see Ned at all. She did not want to see him, talk to him, nothing. She basically told him, get the hell out, leave. I don't want to see you. Because right now, her focus is on Dante. That's her focus right now. Her focus is on the recovery of her son. She can't focus on her marital problems right now. She can't focus on that. She is extremely pissed off though at Alexis because first you sleep with this woman's husband, now you stab her son with a syringe and damn near killed him. Olivia has finally hit her breaking point right now. Olivia has had enough. We are about to see Bensonhurst come out of her because I think she was going to let Alexis slide on the whole sleeping with her husband thing because she might have forgave that. Even though it's hard for her right now to still forgive it, but she was still decent towards Alexis. You know what I mean? Like, she wasn't calling her no bitch, no nothing. She was still a little decent, still talking to her, even though she couldn't stand her at that point. But now, Olivia wants blood at this point. Olivia, I've seen a look in Olivia's eyes I don't think I've ever seen before in her. Like, she has hit her breaking point. She is done being walked all over. She is done. she basically declared war on Alexis's ass at this point. Like, she made it very clear she's gonna get revenge on Alexis, and I'm here for it. I am here for all of this shit. I'm totally here for Olivia going to the dark side, because I think if the writers do this right, please do this right, we will see Olivia unleash holy hell, and I really hope that she does. I believe everybody has different sides to them. I think everybody has a nice side to them, but when you push them too far, oh, you're gonna see a whole different beast come out. And I want to see that in Olivia, because she's been so dormant for so many years. It's like they have pushed Olivia to the side for too long, and I am ready to see Olivia unleash. I am ready to see it. I want to see her go to that dark place. I want to see it. I don't want her to spiral out of control to the point where she can't come back from it, but I want to see her just wake the beast. You know, you poke the dog, you gonna wake the dog, and the dog in Olivia is awoken now, and I want to see like what she gonna do. Um, but I could definitely see her and Robert hooking up, because she was definitely leaning on Robert. She was happy Robert was there to come for her. And Robert even, made sure Ned was leaving. He made sure Ned wasn't lurking around. And Ned tried to get bucked with Robert. And it was like, oh, mind your business. Stay out of this. Bruh, you must not know who you dealing with. That's Robert Scorpio. You might want to chillax and calm down, Ned. You're in the wrong. But Ned, of course, still doesn't want to acknowledge anything. He just wants to blame his mother for all his problems. You can't blame Tracy for everything. Tracy was wrong for getting involved, but you did the deed, so that's on you. So anyway, moving on from that, I am so freaking happy that Mac went off on Alexis. Like, he's so disappointed in Alexis. Because here goes this smart, sharp attorney, and look at what Alexis has been reduced to. A raging alcoholic. Her life has spiraled out of control. She's now facing attempted murder charges, and to top it all off, it's her birthday. Like, it's your birthday, and it's like, this is how you're spending your birthday? Being brought up on attempted murder charges? Are you nuts? And her little excuse sitting there talking about, oh, nobody would care. Nobody cares that it's my birthday anyway. Obviously, Matt cares. She's sitting there talking about, oh, my daughters hate me. First of all, your daughters don't hate you. They're disappointed in you. That there's a difference. Christina, Sam, Molly, I don't think they could ever hate Alexis. I just think with this whole drinking situation and everything she's been doing lately, I think it's hurtful to them. And I believe that they're disappointed in her. They don't hate her. Hate is a strong word. And they're not at that point with her. They're just very upset because Alexis has been somewhat always a strong woman. She's always had her shit together for the most part when it comes to her career and everything else. She's always had it together. You know what I mean? And to see her reduced to this, I mean, it's hard for Mac to see it. So I can imagine her daughters. You know what I mean? Because even the way Mac is looking at her right now, he doesn't recognize who he's looking at. It's like when he looks at Alexis now compared to back then, he sees a whole different person. He doesn't even recognize the person that's standing in front of him. You know what I mean? Because you would have never. That's like real life. You see somebody that you've known for years, and they're acting different. They're acting a fool. This is not the person that you've known all these years. This is a whole stranger that's looking back at you, and that's how Max sees Alexis, as a damn stranger at this point. You're spending your birthday being brought up on attempted murder, and that's why Mac wished that she would have took that DWI, that plea deal with the DWI, because it would have forced her to go to rehab instead of being in the police department being brought up on serious charges. And now she can't even call Diane because Diane is out of town. So the only other lawyer she can call is Martin Gray. She can't call Scott because everybody knows she's not going to call Scott. Ain't no way in the world. That, and besides, that's a conflict of interest anyway, because she tried to stab his son. So there's no way Scott would take her on as a client any damn way. If only the other attorney we had was Rick Lansing. I hate the way they wrote Rick Hurst out of the show. Like, they wrote him out and didn't even give him a goodbye. Like, they didn't say, oh, Rick left town. They did nothing. It's like they just dropped him. So we were led to believe he's still living in Port Charles, just off screen living in Port Charles. I hate that. I'm like, get that man a proper send off then. Just say he went back to LA or something. You know what I mean? Say something. Don't just here one day, don't show him no more, and don't mention him like he never existed. I hate that. It's so annoying. Especially to somebody who's been around a long time. You know what I mean? Like I consider him a veteran. You know what I mean? So to treat a vet like that, that's deplorable. And we already know Rick would have definitely came to the rescue for Alexis. He would have represented her. We know this. So now she has to depend on Martin Gray at this point to get her ass out this mess. But you know what? I agree with Sam. I feel like this is Alexis's rock bottom, and she needs to face it. Hopefully, the seriousness of this crime will make her wake up and see that you need to change your life around. You need to do better. Rebuild your life, make amends to everybody that you wronged due to your drunken stupor, and come to terms with shit. Like she really needs to get it together and do it ASAP. You know, lately I have been on Liz's side with the way that she be coming at Jason. But today I felt like Liz was doing a little bit too much today, where she tried to taunt Jason about the fact that Alexis tried to kill Franco and missed, and she's sure Jason's disappointed in Alexis's failure to kill Franco. Liz, now is not the time for this. Like, something serious has just happened. Now is not the time to get all up in Jason's face taunting him about this. You know what I mean? Like, now is not the time. Yes, it's true. Jason hates Franco. But the problem that I have with Liz is when it comes down to that is the fact that she acts like Jason has no right to hate Franco. Yes, Franco, he's turned his life around. You know what I mean? He has. And I've applauded, me personally, I've applauded the Franco character for, the way he did a complete 360 and he's helping her raise her boys. But just because he turned his life around don't mean people are going to forget. Like, he terrorized a lot of people, murdered people. I don't care how many, times you change your life around or whatever and you do good. He murdered people. Those people had families. They're not coming back. You know what I mean? Nobody's going to forget or forgive that. And that's their right. And if Jason doesn't want to forgive Franco and don't want to be around him, don't want him around his son, that's Jason's right. He has a right to his opinion. He has a right to feel the way he feels. It's justified. It really is. And now to find out that he has this tumor in his back, of course everybody in town is going to be, wondering what that means. Like they're going to run around panicking and, you know what I mean? Because they don't want to repeat that hell that they went through all them years ago. They don't want that. And that was over 10 years ago. They don't want to go into a repeat. Like, this man kidnapped people. He taunted. He murdered. He harassed. Like, he did a lot of things to people. He sent that rapist in Michael's direction. Even though they try to whitewash it and say that, he didn't know Carter was a rapist or whatever the case may be, you still did that. Like, you can't whitewash it. You can't erase it. You just can't, no matter what you do. And of course, Sam, little slow butt, sitting there trying to come up to Jason, trying to put two and two together about what Franco was talking about yesterday, about how he made plans just in case he ever reverts back to his old self to, have himself taken out. She finally put two and two together like, oh, Jason, duh. You should have been put that together when he told you that, stupid. Sam, what type of... Whatever. Sam, just get it together. Get it together, Sam. So anyway, moving on from that. So Nina is finally putting two and two together. She's finally understanding that 2 + 2 = 4. So Michael pretty much helped fill in the blanks about Nell being from Florida, and she remembered that her child was adopted by people in Florida. So she's putting everything together. That Nell, the half-heart necklace is fit. So she's putting it together that Nell could be her child. And Jax is pretty much filling her in like, yeah, Nell's your child, basically. Carly. Carly, in a last-ditch effort to save her own ass, tried to come up with some bullshit. She's sitting there talking about something. That's why she tried to stop the interview, because she found out yesterday that Nina and Nell were mother and daughter. I am so glad Jack spoke up and shut that down. He said, Carly, enough. Stop the lies. Enough is enough. Nina needs to know the whole truth. I said, thank you, Jax. You're a little too late, but thank you for shutting that down. Because Carly definitely was going to try to come up with a new lie just to save her own skin. And I'm glad Jack shut it down. He was like, nope, we're going to tell her the whole damn truth. It's about time. And I hope I really hope that Nina slaps the shit out of both of them. I really do. I do. I hope so. They deserve it. Because as much as they didn't like Nell or whatever, if that's her child, she has a right to know. Like, she has a right to know. You shouldn't try to keep somebody from their kid, even though her child is gone. But still, I know some people were asking, like, what's the point of making Nell Nina's daughter if Nell is dead? Well, it does open up possible story because now, she has a grandson that she can be around. And maybe she'll make a play for Wiley. Visitation, custody, who knows? On behalf of Nell. You never know. But if they still have Nell's body, then they can exhume her body and do a DNA test. Because if I remember correctly, Nina paid for her funeral arrangements. So Nina could easily have her body exhumed and do a DNA and find out that way. Or she could do a test on Wiley and they can find out that way. So I think there's a lot of possibility with story as regards to Nina being her mother. There's good possibility, and who knows? Maybe Nell ass ain't really dead. You never know. Stranger things have happened. But anyway, this was a good episode. This was a little decent. Hit the comment section. Let me know what y'all thought about it. I will see you all Monday. Hope all you have a wonderful weekend. Hope you have a wonderful night. See you all later. Peace.